Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A strange man approaching a child and saying odd things. Tonight, it has police in one local suburb issuing an alert to parents. Investigators in Clawson treating this case as credible and serious.
That's right, and it's not just what the man said to the child, but also what he said to an adult who confronted him. The trouble started Saturday at Shalom Elementary north of 14 and east of Crooks. Sean Lee is live with more on what happened and what went right this time. Sean.
Yeah, the kids actually ran to an adult, and then everyone reported this to the police. Look, there was actually 2 reports over the weekend here in Clawson. Been talking to the detective here, been all over this case, this detective, tracking down witnesses, tracking down video. She was able to determine that one of these incidents or reports at a local park was a false alarm. That's the good news. She is concerned about the incident that happened right here at Shalom Elementary. That's the incident she wants parents in this area to be well aware of.
I would like to assume all of our children are street smart too, but at the same time, one mistake can be horrible and detrimental, right?
Sarah Hoffman is a busy mother of 3 and she works with children, and she and her husband today had to deal with some alarming news head on. Clawson Schools putting out this email relaying information put out by Clawson Police that a man followed an 11-year-old boy around the parking lot of Shalom Elementary at Elmwood and Selfridge Saturday around 1 in the afternoon. Police tell us the boy knew this was not normal and he began to run. The driver of a white SUV asking the boy, "Why are you afraid of me?" Shalom is where Hoffman's kids go to school.
Why are you afraid of me is what he said.
Oh, why are you afraid of me is what he said.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Weird.
You're supposed to be afraid of strangers.
The boy ran to an adult nearby for help. Police tell me that adult asked the driver if he knew the boy. The driver responding, "None of your business."
Oh, no.
Now that's weird.
That's very weird and very scary.
Clawson police also working on another report from Saturday of a stranger at Baker Center Playground. However, a detective determined that the stranger was a nearby parent looking for something their child dropped earlier. In both cases, police are happy the kids did the right thing by reporting it right away so they can check it out. Back here live, not only do police tell me that these kids involved here did the right thing, the 11-year-old here at Shrum, they are saying he is being an extremely helpful witness here, explaining in detail what this guy looked like. Tan skin, about 25 to 35 years of age, 5'8", short hair, and a stubbly beard. But the key here would be the vehicle, a white SUV, possibly a Chevy Equinox. There's a little clip of Ring doorbell video of that the detective saw. She also says it could be a Chevy Equinox, it could be a Ford Escape. Bottom line, they want to talk to that driver, Kimberly, to find out exactly what he was up to and why he was speaking to the child in that way. Back to you.
Yeah, parents should be on alert tonight. All right. Sean, we appreciate it.
Tonight, Grand Rapids police identifying the officer who shot and killed Patrick Leoya during a traffic stop earlier this month. The police chief revealed the officer as Christopher Schur. He's been with the department since 2015. Right now, he's on administrative leave and has been stripped of his police powers while state police investigate the shooting. Previously, the police chief said the officer's name would only be released if he was charged, which has not happened yet. That decision is the Kent County prosecutors. A Dearborn Heights man is shot by police this morning. Police say the man was grazed by a bullet on Evangeline Street near Joy Road in Dearborn Heights. The man was wanted for running from police. When officers arrived at the home, they say he revved his engine and drove toward an officer. That officer fired twice. We spoke to the man's brother today, who was there when this all happened.
He's a strong guy, you know, but like this shouldn't be happening, you know, around this. Like we have people, you know, talking about this daily, you know, people are dying daily about this stuff, you know.
The driver was later arrested at a relative's home. He refused medical treatment. State police also investigating this case.
Neighbors and family of an elderly couple in Sterling Heights are grieving after an apparent murder-suicide. Police tell us an 87-year-old man called 911 and said he'd shot his wife. Police rushed to the scene on the 14,000 block of Bangor. They found the man, his 86-year-old wife, and a gun just inside the door of that home. Police are now faced with figuring out what led to this tragic course of events. We'll keep you posted as we learn more.
The White House wants Americans to know Pfizer's antiviral COVID-19 pill is available and may soon be easier to get. The U.S. has ordered enough supply of Paxlovid for 20 million Americans. Government officials will be stepping up outreach to patients and providers. The plan is to provide direct-to-pharmacy ordering rather than relying on states to decide where the pills go. Studies have shown Paxlovid taken within 5 days of first symptoms to be 90% effective in preventing hospitalization and death in the most at-risk patients.
All right, well, the dilemma of whether to use the heat or AC setting is over for now.
Let's just hope it doesn't turn into arguments in homes. We're not turning the air on in April, Paul. We just can't do it.
I tell you, it's a tough time of year, especially businesses with large buildings. I mean, you don't just flip a switch and it's just quickly one or the other. I mean, it's a commitment. So, yeah, it's a tough time of year. But, all right, Storm Tracker 4 here is showing that we are continuing to dry out this evening. We just have a few showers here left up in the thumb here. And it's really, this is not big deal stuff. You know, Peck over to Applegate, and as we head a little farther to the north here in the county, you can see Sandusky over to Carsonville, over to Port Sanilac. So this is all, again, this is all not real big deal stuff. And again, widening out, you can see that we're just really restricted just to the thumb. There's really not a whole lot going on here down to the south or southwest. Everything else is off to the east. So that's good news. A nice shot from our Mount Clemens Skycam. Great shot of the Clinton River. You can even see Lake St. Clair way in the distance there. Temperatures right now, 59 over at Metro, 54 in Howell, 57 in Port Huron, 58 over in Adrian. The winds are generally in most areas 10 to 15 miles per hour. And through the evening, dropping into the 40s by midnight. Again, these showers are tapering off even as I speak. We'll talk about the forecast for the rest of the week, even talk about the upcoming weekend in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Paul, thank you. There have been a lot of opinions about the outcome in the trial of 4 men accused of plotting to kidnap Governor Whitmer. The trial ended earlier this month with 2 acquittals and 2 mistrials declared. One person that we haven't heard from since then, the governor herself. Let's get to Priya Mann. And Priya, she broke her silence today.
Yeah, that's right, Kim. The governor was holding an event today in Metro Detroit. It was one of the first times that she made herself to reporters, so we had to ask about the verdicts and the mistrials. We wanted to get her reaction. Here's what she had to say.
I think it's a very disturbing set of facts and troubling outcome, frankly.
For the first time, Governor Whitmer spoke publicly about the verdicts in one of the largest domestic terrorism cases in recent history. The alleged plot to kidnap her renewed national concerns about violent extremism and raised questions about the conduct of the FBI. The day the jury acquitted 2 men and a judge declared a mistrial for 2 others, Representative Debbie Dingell tweeted this, saying she was deeply concerned the decision would give people further license to choose violence and threats. The governor agrees.
I do worry about that. You know, there are great public servants who do this work because they care about their communities and want to solve problems. And the fact that this could have an additional chilling effect on people's desire to run for office or to hold any sort of public office, whether it's a local public health commissioner or as a secretary of state or a municipal leader, I think that is a very, concerning development for anyone who thinks that they want to serve. And we all pay a price if that's the case.
The trial lasted 20 days and jurors deliberated for nearly 40 hours. Daniel Harris of Lake Orion and Brandon Caserta of Canton Township were found not guilty. A mistrial was declared against the accused ringleaders, Adam Fox of Potterville and Barry Croft of Delaware.
I have faith that the criminal justice system ultimately does work and produce the right outcome, and I don't think it's the end of the story.
Now, it's important to know what the lawyers for the men who were found not guilty had to say. When that verdict came down, they said the governor was never in any danger and that the jury recognized that the prosecution just didn't have enough evidence to convict. They also criticized the prosecution, saying they relied on problematic FBI agents and informants. Now, I mentioned a judge did declare a mistrial in the cases against 2 men. Their attorneys want the cases dropped entirely. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Okay, Priya, thanks. Okay, in tonight's Help Me Hank consumer headlines, the cost of everything is going up, and that includes concert tickets.
Oh, yeah. And new numbers reveal many Americans are racking up a record amount of credit card debt. But we begin with an important Help Me Hank recall alert from Pfizer. Here's consumer investigator Hank Winchester.
We're going to begin our consumer headlines tonight with that important information regarding the Pfizer recall, this one affecting people all over the country. Here's what you need to know. Tonight, Pfizer launching a nationwide recall of the medication Acupril. This medication is used to treat hypertension. The concern is that there could be cancer-causing chemicals within the medication. This is a voluntary recall. Refunds are being offered. Taking in a concert, it's going to cost you more, just like almost everything else right now. The average ticket price for a concert is up almost 40 to 50%. Demand for the shows on the road driving the prices up. You may want to search online for better discounts rather than buying from the venue directly. And not a big surprise, but personal debt is soaring. Consumer debt up $45 billion in the month of February alone. Inflation causing more people to rely on their credit cards. However, credit card companies are reporting record profits. And I have more information regarding that Pfizer recall. Everything you need to know is right on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. I'm consumer investigator Hank Winchester. Help Me Hank, Local 4.